All right. Hello, sixth grade teachers. I am going to be walking through the scope and sequence. So we've started off our trainings on the scope and sequence. I feel like I messed up. Pacing guide. We're going to be going with the pacing guide. So we started off with the scope and sequence. You click here and you'll get to the curriculum map. There's a video on the curriculum map landing page. If you didn't see that, go check out that video. You'll notice that from the video, there's been only a few updates to it, but it's not much. Again, all those things that you wanted to access from the scope and sequence, they're all visible on here as well. What this video is going to outline is the suggested pacing guide. So those start after the first page, and then you've got your suggested pacing guide. The curriculum landing page helps you plan out the unit, and then these are your main area for lesson planning. So under Concept 1, you have all your student learning objectives. I've written these in student language. You can change them, tweak them however you want, but these are perfect for lesson planning, putting on your board, anything like that. You'll also notice that these are numbered and they correlate. If you come down to the Explore section, I kind of tell you, hey, these two objectives, Objective 1 and 2, they're kind of talked about in this area here. Objective 7 and 8, they're talked about here. And so forth. So you can kind of see where different objectives are being highlighted at within. If you see any that are bold, those kind of like fit such a wide range that I've just said these are important. You're going to find them all throughout the different areas under the Explore section. So those are your student learner objectives. Those are really helpful for all of that. Each unit starts off with a guided phenomena to engage students into learning. You can see there are different ways to introduce that phenomena, and you can access those here. That's actually the Unit 1 phenomena, but this should be the... you got the unit phenomena, which we highlighted up here, and then you have the concept phenomena. So this would just be a question that you could ask students having to have a class dialogue. But if you do want to introduce the unit phenomena, you can talk about that here as well. You'll notice that when we come down to the actual content, we're broken up into multiple columns. Think of each column as here are different resources available to me as I do my lesson planning. Our core resource, Discovery Ed, is going to be found over here in these activities. I have a video that highlights Discovery Ed as its own, so you can go check that out. But what this really helps you do is kind of see, all right, these are the different activities, the different questions being answered in our Discovery Ed. And then as I look to the left, here are some other activities that I can use to go along with those. When I do lesson planning using these, one, if I want to go and actually see what's on these activities, if I just click this link here, that will take me directly to the Discovery Ed page that these activities are listed in. So if I click here on Engage, I'd get these 4 activities. If I click Explore, I get access to these. So the curriculum map helps take away that navigation piece. But the way I like to lesson plan is I start to look at a few activities, kind of see what's available to me, what videos, texts, activities do I have at my disposal, and kind of start creating a lesson around that. And then I want to supplement some of that information. Maybe I want to use, and there's going to be a separate Nearpod video, so go ahead and check that out for how to use Nearpod. But maybe I want to grab one of these lessons or videos from Nearpod and build that into a lesson. Maybe I want to do a Gizmos lab and build that into my lesson. So all your labs and gizmos will be in this column. All your Nearpod will be here. And then these are just additional YouTube videos that I found correlate to the topics being addressed. Those could be good for you, or if these aren't already Nearpod videos, you can make them into Nearpod videos, inserting questions to engage your students. So you can kind of see how when you're lesson planning, you're kind of using all of this together to make something engaging and fun that works with your style. With 6th grade, we have some that are 45 minutes, some that are an hour long, so it's different for all of you. And then when you get down with that concept, you come down to evaluate. This right here will take you to the link on Discovery Ed, just similar to how these would, to the evaluate page. On there, what you'll find is you have a concept assessment. This is like a test that Discovery Ed generates with questions that come from that unit, or concept rather. These are editable, so you can tweak and get rid of questions if you feel like you didn't cover that. And they also have a practice test. It's slightly easier, more multiple choice type questions than some of the more tech enhanced ones. But those will also be good, and you can edit and tweak those as well. These are also pretty good to use because these are actually where I get the questions for the district test. So if you're exposing students to these, that's really helpful. And I think even one of them, if students get a question wrong, will kind of like show them, hey, remember this, and show them something to help review whatever they get wrong. So don't mess. I would use these a little bit and try to get students to practice and kind of prepare. And then we've talked about the performance assessments. So you can find these also on the scope and sequence, but this is the performance assessment that goes along with this concept. For this case, this one doesn't have a Missouri-based standard. It's they're based off NGSS, and we just don't have a standard that matches this one. But if we come down here, most of them are going to have a standard that they apply to, and that link is your that's your answer key, and that's your actual performance assessment. Separate video on that if you want to go check that out. So you can kind of see all the different resources available to you as you go through. Separate video for Nearpod. I'll have a separate video for Gizmos that you guys can see in the training playlist. But hopefully you're kind of seeing how all this plays out. I'll go ahead and scroll down. So we're going through all the different concepts. And then right at the end, you've also got your testlet that we've talked about. You've got your unit performance assessment. This project, just a reminder about that project from up to the top. And so it's kind of a good way to wrap up a unit using any of those. If you want to jump over to Unit 2, this is a quick link that'll jump you over to Unit 2, or if you just need to get right back up to the top. My thing is being blocked, but I should be able to now jump up to the top of the screen. So there you go, a little navigation maneuverability. Okay, I think that's all I got for this video. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.